now, finally trying to see what I be on. Got a different style, they be at the brand new when they know I've been around. Got a fake smile on your face cause you've been inclined. I can say a lot, but I'm not. Gotta keep it down, making sure nobody drown. I'm my brother, keep it now. Mike Jack hit me up and said I gotta beat it down. Turn me up when I'm on your speaker now. Cool, tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, tear it down. Boosted up my cardio, I used to get to run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, tear it down. Everybody eating this a party when I come to town. You can bring your mama, daddy, sister, and your cousin out. Yeah, you in the league, but you ain't hooping around and tear out. Before you judge me, you need to go and wipe the mirror off. Try to turn me down, the only thing you do is veer off. Showing fake love, I can tell it once I say it all. I just stay cool, acting like I wasn't weird at all. Most of the people that you meet are not who they appear at all. If you want on top, then you wouldn't hear it cheer at all. But I ain't got no top, I don't need a chandelier at all.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. 2-1-2 teams, each hoping to get back to 500, and we're underway in week 4. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Dalton going to throw right away. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
2 yards, good enough for a first. So this game here in London, the first of 5 games in the NFL International Series for 2022. We'll see the Giants and Packers here next week. Broncos and Jags at Wembley at the end of the month. The Seahawks and the Bucs, that'll be in November in Munich, Germany. First time a game's been held there. And then we wrap up down in Mexico City, November 21st. Cardinals and Niners from Estadio Azteca. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Throwing, Dalton. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there. Tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Dalton. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
I'm quite sure that they envisioned a much better start to this game when they practiced all week. But they failed on that 3rd down play. That brings up 4th down, and they'll probably have to punt it away.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. Room here to run. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There's absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Throwing on 2nd down, Cousins. And his throw is incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
And we're going to see this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside 3rd of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
And as As is to be expected, this is nowhere near being good from that distance. And this will remain a scoreless game. I guess I got to hand it to him. That was ambitious.
Well, that's one way to put it.
Well, this offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50, 1st and 10. And some space here. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them. On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Johnson. Touchdown! Juwan Johnson. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And not much on this one. Takes it from the 21. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they were in field goal range last time out but couldn't connect.
It's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again. And he's got room. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 45 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. They run it again with Cook. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Cousins throw complete to his receiver, Thielen. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 31-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Cousins. Open man. Once again, it's Thielen. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints. Partner, on my spot sheets, I highlighted turnover margin because we remember they turned it over 4 times last week. So another one here in the first quarter. This isn't the way they want to go.
No, not even close. And it's not something they even imagine because the amount of time that we know that they spend in practice talking about what they need to get done, working on it, showing them how to take care of the football, and emphasizing what it means in terms of winning, they got to just be puzzled right now that they're not taking care of the ball better.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. And Dalton to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets them on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick six.
And I know from experience throughout the week when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick sixes and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Dalton now to pass. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
And he'll be pretty well stopped at his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. The Saints are 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season. And they got off to the good start, but then 2 straight losses since.
And now you start to wonder about what this does for a team's morale, how it affects their psyche, because, let's face it, you work all summer pointing toward that opening game, you get the win, but then you don't carry it on from there. How will they bounce back from these losses and try and get right? Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from it. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Give them 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They run it again with Kamara. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. So Dalton now. Got an open man. It's Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans. Chris Olave with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Saints have regained the lead. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Charles, you got to think the #1 goal here is ball security. Remember, last drive they coughed it up. Then they allowed the touchdown, and now they're trailing on the scoreboard.
Boy, the way you described it makes me think that that one actually hurt them 3 times. The fumble cost them potential points. Then they watched their opponent get a touchdown off of the fumble. And third, they lost the lead as a result. Really tough sequence right there. I don't think coaches have to remind them to hold on to the football. They've just got to find a way to get it done.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground. On third down, Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Excellent play there on third down. Give him 25 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times. And
he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Demario Davis able to drop him for a loss of a couple. But that play, Charles, diagnosed pretty well.
It absolutely was, because coming from inside out, he took a great angle that time, didn't he? Sometimes you have to pick through trash. Sometimes you have an open space. But on that bootleg, he was right on the spot. Really nice job tracking him down in the open field.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. Well, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Here's Kamara off the draw. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 50 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. Dalton sets up play action. Going right back to Michael Thomas. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
And again, Andy Dalton to throw. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
And the defense closes quickly there, and he'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. On 2nd and 9, Cousins. And his throw here is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, here's Cousins. Open man is Thielen, it's complete. And he will have the Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
First down, here's Cousins. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Kentavious Street breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything. After the sack on first down, Cousins. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. That one goes for 24 yards. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Back to the ground, Cook. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Partner, I like the play call coming right after a tackle for a loss, because this is an obvious passing situation, but instead they fooled them a little bit with the screen, and they wound up getting back what they lost, and then a little bit more.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Dalton. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
On 2nd and 10, Dalton. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he's going to have a first down here as they're also into field goal range at the 28.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. This will be Dalton again. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Dalton. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Now a timeout coming here defensively. As on 4th down, may as well make them punt it. So on 4th down, on comes Saints kicker Will Lutz. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good, and that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Tackle there going to Marshawn Lattimore. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Cousins. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Third and short yardage, Cousins. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
Oh, it's a wobbler here. Now a hit and a loose football. And now off to the races down the right side. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. And it's no good. He missed it. And the game remains tied. Oh, boy. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Kamara up the middle. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 and the 36. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Open man is Michael Thomas. And he is going to have a Saints first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Jet sweep. Here's Olave. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains. That was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
That run wasn't a big breaker, but I don't think the guys on offense mind very much. They've got a nice drive going, and they might just be luring the defense in a little bit. They could probably come back with a play action, maybe go over the top. But right now, on this drive, their playbook is open.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Partner, normally double coverage is reserved for receivers and tight ends, but this time they actually targeted the running back with it, and it still wasn't enough. He attacked the defense and got in a great position to haul in the catch and get a nice gain out of it.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
Cousins. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember, last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. Try to pound it in, Kamara. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. Kamara trying again, and he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints have taken the lead here in the final seconds of the 3rd quarter. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go play action. Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. The Charles are trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they could afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
Cousins on 1st down. his throw's going to be incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Cousins. Looking sideline, incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. They'll throw again. Cousins. Oh, no, he lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand. They're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Cousins. Touchdown, Vikings! Justin Jefferson from 3 yards out. And the Vikings strike quickly here to tie up the ball game. This is why I could never make it as a quarterback at any level, especially the NFL. To have the poise to stay in that pocket, know you're going to take the hit, but still deliver it for a touchdown. Great play.
I have to agree with you on that one. When I see those hits coming, I'm wanting to exit the pocket. I'm getting the heck out of there. Instead, we just saw someone stay in there and make the throw downfield.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Now, the bad news for them, they've seen that cushion they once had totally evaporate, and they're working from behind. The good news, they now have the opportunity to regain the lead right back. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll get this out to Kamara. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here comes the Saints punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. With the football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage, while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he will have a Vikings first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Over the middle, complete. That's Osborne. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 15-yard line. 18 yards, a big pickup there on 3rd down.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 93 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. On 2nd down, it's Cook again. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. They'll run with Cook. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll run for it with Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings will add to their 4th quarter lead. Important extra point up and through, and that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going. Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear in risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get them to completion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Dalton. He's got his target. It's Olave. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. He's going to let it fly. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Here's Dalton. His throw incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Dalton. Complete. It's Johnson. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 44-yard line. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. All right, here's Dalton. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this one is incomplete.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. So now Dalton. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Big spot, Andy Dalton. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings have just about sewn up this football game. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost like they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the 4th quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they face